Well, for the most part, I'm beginning to like this month a lot better than the last month. A decent day, a pretty good day, actually. You know, yesterday was the 1st of April, and I was hopeful. We talked about how I was a little disappointed with Blue Ventura's race. I actually had somebody email me today and was very unhappy with my drive of Blue Ventura. I was a little taken aback, to be honest. Quite frankly, you got a 10-horse field with a bit of a mixed bag of talent and speed. And my initial thought was to go out of there and try and get away third or fourth, but that's always tough. You know, you go hunting for a hole in a non-winners or two, and then you had that kerfuffle coming out of the gate, the young kid there in the middle. Got tangled up with Aaron a little bit, and then almost get into me, and then get into somebody else. It was just a bit of a dog's breakfast from start to finish. But make no mistake, to cross over to the 8-hole 27-3 the way he did, slam the air on, let one go, and then back through the field. Obviously, I'd be remiss if I didn't say, one, a talented 3-year-old colt of any sort of ability should be able to do that and still race well. Secondly, that wasn't the horse that went in 56 come 28 seconds raging through the wire with the earplugs in. That wasn't him. If you want to blame me, fine. Go ahead. But the reality is I'm not taking any blame tonight. You can send those emails to www.blameanthony.com, but I don't often answer them. So when it comes to, you guys know me by now. If I think I did something wrong, or if I think I made a horrific error or even a minor error, I don't mind fessing up. I'm the first to blame myself. I did something wrong. But I'm not going to take the blame for Blue Ventura's mile yesterday. I'm pretty sure, I'm not even going to blame the horse. I'm pretty sure we're going to find out tomorrow. We get his blood work back at 9 a.m. exactly what went on with Blue Ventura. And mechanically, we still have a little bit of work to do on the colt also. And I wasn't disappointed. If he had been okay, I would have been disappointed. He was terrible. Clearly, something was up. Amarillo was okay. You know, bar was sit pretty low after the month of March, the end of it anyway. We had our moments where things went well, but pretty tough way to end the month. And I'll take the second with Amarillo, especially after the way that Blue Ventura's race went. And then Tenacious Hanover, a little bit flat also. This is 3 weeks now. First week I said maybe touch of the virus. Second week, maybe some residual issues with the virus. Third week, okay. Now we got to figure out what's wrong. And as I said to Jason and Dr. Latessa last night, we had a pretty good discussion in the barn about Tenacious Hanover. If he's tired, we can turn him out and bring him back a little bit. But where do we race him, first off? Secondly, is it going to benefit him or us? Right? Truthfully speaking, if you're going to put him in where you win, the rule of the barn is very simple. Put them in where they can win. Putting him in where he can win, right now off those 3 lines would be about a 6 or 7 claimer. So, I'm eager to see what his blood work says. If it comes back, good. Okay. Maybe just a little bit tired. Do a little bit of work on that ankle, turn him out for 3 weeks and bring him back. I could do that. Yeah, I could see us doing that. Not a horrible horse. I mean, this horse went out winning 55 on a rock-hard track. I'd rather like him. He's growing on me. But we do need to see him race better. So let's see what the blood work says. A lot of decisions are going to be made tomorrow after these reports come in. Greatest ending race, good. And Century Legion, I had a number of people message me today, can we do this? Should the vet look at him again? No, he's leaving. We're not. At the end of the day, I'm not going to keep horses around that are not going to put in any sort of consistent efforts, right? The mile from him last night, I'm not drawing blood. I'm not going to do any sort of major investigation. I've seen this. This is a trend with him. He raced okay when he was put in a real good spot the week before. And the spot last night was not that foreign to the week before. 29-1, 59 seconds. Somebody asked, well, why didn't you tap the brakes? It looks to me like you could have got over there 1-1. Absolutely. I know exactly how this track still plays somewhat. And Aaron and Chris would have trotted right by me down the backstretch. I was trying to do my best to keep that from happening. The reality is he's just not a great horse, I guess. You have to overcome a little bit, right? When I have the vet, I have 2 vets look at the horse, and they're like, maybe his feet, maybe one knee bothering him. Yeah, his stifle might be a little weak. But when they're making those kind of faces, when you're asking for a diagnostic, you be the judge. There's not a ton there, right? You have to want to be a horse. You look at a horse like Vehement today. Sure, he's classy, he was expensive yearling. Still has to go out and get it done. And he's had gaps in his schedule. It's been unfair for that horse. You give him the first opportunity to win a race, and he does what? Wins the race. Doesn't matter what he was supposed to be. He's in a spot where he should win, and he does. Useful horse. So Century Legion is not going to be staying with us. No more excuses made for that horse. And I know there's a lot of people saying, Anthony, where you took a loss on this one, This is the time of year where we're going to take losses on horses because we're going to cut our losses on a number of horses. We can't have 100 and some horses and all of them, or in some cases even most of them, come back really good. Freedom Hill, I told you guys she was good. And you might look at it and say, wow, 59-31. It was a gale force wind when the night started. Now, it did dissipate as the night went on. But it was very, very strong for Gymboree, and it was very strong for Freedom Hill. Cleared the lead down the backstretch with the wind at her back, yes. But it hit her smack dab in the head coming out of the turn. She dug down and got the job done because she's a winner. She's not a killer. She's not a monster. We paid her into the Hackett, and I'm still not even sure she should be going to it. But in the right class, with the right horses, with the right trip, she'll get the job done. Those are the horses we want in our barn. End of story. No more excuses made for some of them. So I'll rewind to the start of the day. Arrowhead Hanover makes a break. As I said, a number of people asked me, what do you think happened with Arrow? I have no idea. He's made 2 breaks in his life, in the exact same place, the exact same track, in the exact same way. I think he'd the 6-hole the day he run, and he'd the 5-hole today. I watched that race 3 times, and I see him get out of gear. He'll do that. I can't tell you why he made a break. I don't know. And he's not talking. Turn the page. He's not lame. Didn't look like anything was truly wrong. I know what Sean thought was wrong, which he's wrong. He's wore the snake cord his whole life. But when you see him get out of gear and throw his head a little bit and make a break, sure, you're going to say, oh, maybe it was in his mouth. It's a fair observation. So, not the way I wanted to start the year. You know what I could have done? Gone the extra mile and gone over and went with him. What is going on with this trailer here? This fella does not look like a guy I want to follow any longer. Laundry One truck. It's all over the pond. So Arrowhead Hanover will turn the page. We'll go next week. This is exactly why it bothers me when I don't go somewhere, right? And don't think for a second that I'm not thinking again about Gymboree and Monday. Asking a lot of this filly. What I did see tonight, she raced good. She was short. That's all. It was windy. That was a good mile. 57 and piece. 58 over Northfield tonight with no wind, guaranteed. The horse that won that race raced very well. Beat me fair and square. But we hadn't raced in 11 days, and we haven't been able to train her very hard. She came from Mohawk over to here, and the timeline just wasn't as such that we could really fire up and go a good mile. So she was coming into tonight's race off a slow mile, 25 or 30. I don't know if the changes are done for the Poconos yet. Maybe they do them on Friday or something. If they do, I'm tempted. I just can't. I don't know if I can stomach another, Arrowhead Hanover make a break off the gate. Can't really tell you why. Really sorry. Those things happen. I want to be the one saying I'm sorry. So, from my house to the Poconos in this car, it'd be a 5-hour drive. it looks on paper that I can't beat the Gilda filly. And there might be another one in there too. But if the changes aren't done yet, which they may be, you don't need to email me. I'm going to look again when the final changes are due. If they aren't due till tomorrow, then maybe I will take a rundown. 5 hours back home. I think the last race goes at 4, or I think her race goes around 5. I can go home by 10 o'clock on Monday. Not a lot going on Monday. Kids have skating. That's it. And that might be over for all I know. So I'll talk to Amy and I'll see. I might go. Gymboree raced really well, finished second. Happy with her performance. You could tell she was just a little flat, a little short. But the good news is she didn't bleed. We scoped her after, ran fluids into her before the veterinarian, before Dr. Katie went home tonight. She ran fluids into her because Gymboree was making her way over to Tim's, back over to Tim's tonight. So she had fluids ran into her, little Banamine, I think. I don't know what she put in it, but just some stuff to help her for shipping. What I did notice tonight was she was very nervous in the paddock, which is concerning. She's going to ship to the Meadows, then ship to the Poconos on Sunday, then ship from the farm that she's going to be at over to the Poconos on Monday morning for Lasix. A lot of shipping. So we'll see how this plays out. A lot of moving parts that I'm not comfortable with for her Monday start, but it's not always perfect, is it? Yo, Mr. Race Good, awful week, 7-hole. Just got beat a snout for second and closing in at the wire. Finished fourth. I thought the horse raced rather well. Remembering Imagination finished second. Race Good. It's not lost on me that if he has only 2 more wins in this class, I'm not really going to put a frowny face on when he's second. You know, that's $6,000 I think he made tonight finishing second. I'm not going to advocate. We don't do that in this barn. I'm not going to advocate for second place finishes. But if he's beat fair and square and you haul in a second, well, not the end of the world. Freedom Hill raced great. I like how she dug in. Looked like I was getting a little deja vu was setting in from last week. I could feel that horse closing in on me in the last turn. We came out of the turn though, and she fought on through the wind into the lane and won the race. So good job by her. Mounts for All. Stacey thought tied up a little bit tonight. They'll know more tomorrow. Bit of a tricky horse. I know that you could see at times Brett was really kind of sheepish with him. You got to drive him with a firm hand, right? You got to keep him on a helmet. You got to keep him in the action. You got to keep him moving forward. Now, all that being said, if his AST is high and he did tie up, well, none of that matters because he did a hell of a job to finish fourth then, didn't he? But he is a bit of a tricky horse sometimes to drive. And they did go in 54-1. That's not lost on me either. And then to close out the night, we had Vehement. I have no idea. Vehement's like one of those surprise bags of candies you got when you were a kid. Cost like 50 cents when I was a kid or $1. You have no idea what's in there. Every race, that's how he is. I knew halfway down the stretch when he didn't get out of gear and get pacey that we probably had a pretty good chance of snapping out of there and getting away close. I put him in gear to go around the 8 at the quarter pole. I wanted to stay close. I knew the horse up front was a long shot. Johnny was driving it. If he was going to relent, I was going to keep trucking. It looked like he was pretty content staying on the front, letting her sail. I was just going to let him rest until it felt like it was time to go, and then I was going to go. If, in fact, she was a 60 or 80 to 1 shot, I couldn't tell when I was going by the sands. Looked like 80 to me. It might have been 60. Either way, a long bomber. He was supposed to inhale her. Staying that close, I didn't feel there was any issue. There was any sense of urgency. And whenever I wanted to pull the trigger, I could. But I didn't want to let the backfield get in motion and have him flat-footed. So I just moved him over down the backstretch and let him eat. He was good. Won the race, finished up good again. The wind had dissipated, but it was still windy. And a mile 59 4, 31 at the end of it. Not a bad mile from him at all. But most importantly, getting him into the swing of things and getting him racing on a more consistent level. And we'll have him in again next week. So really happy with the way today went. Not disappointed about yesterday, like some people might have been. But I wasn't totally disappointed. I think we had 2 horses where I'm eager to see their blood work. 2 horses that raced pretty good, and another horse that cemented his departure out of the burn. Today was a much better day. We did miss the check. Arrowhead made a break. For the remainder of the night, we were 2, 4, 2, 1, 4, 1. So not a bad end of the night. Tomorrow we have Melisandre picked to win short field. I would still like to get away 3rd, 4th, 5th with her. Make it a little more difficult to close in on the leader, and just a little step forward where she's going to have to come a little further distance, carry that speed down the lane. In a perfect world, that's what we would do tomorrow. 3-point blue chip from the outside. I'm not overly concerned about that 8-hole post tomorrow. I have every intention of sailing out of there with him. From the 8-hole, he should get out very, very well and should end up in a good spot for tomorrow's race. And then tomorrow night, super eager to watch Chicago Hall. He's in a pretty soft spot. And I know James is going to still drive very conservatively, but eager to see the big guy get back at it this year. And Roser and AJ's in a good spot tomorrow night also. Friday, we head back over to Ontario. Ollie's got baseball Friday and Saturday, so I won't be at the Meadows on Saturday afternoon, I don't believe. But Saturday evening, I will be at Northfield Park. We have Westland Warrior racing. What are his odds? 5-2. Must be a soft class. Westland Warrior 5-2. Manhattan Money is going to race on Friday, also 5-1. James is staying on him. That's good. And Country Dancing is 10-1. Ooh, that's less. Oh, 10-hole. Good. It's about par for the course. And we got Tyler Borth. So James has picked off of Country Dancing. So I'm still eager to see how she races. And then that was Friday. Saturday, we have Trosa. Gorgeous package, got the rail. We're going to do some damage on Saturday if we can. Roser and Alexandra gallop better. Remember I told you last week when I galloped her, she just didn't feel as sharp. She didn't feel as content. And wasn't as powerful in galloping. And I was wondering if there was, maybe she was getting over the virus, maybe there was something bothering her, maybe she didn't ship well. She certainly didn't race well. I galloped her yesterday, very strong, very sharp. Galloped out the mile, good, pulled up with the rears up, playing around. She's feeling much, much better coming into Saturday's performance. I'll be going with her. Trosa is in also, 4-1. Phil Hudon driving? Oh, James. Oh yeah, James had that freak of Megs in there again. So we'll see a little blast in the past. Been a while since Phil's done some work for us, but good friend of mine for a very long time. And then Neptune. Yeah, James jumped off that one too. Billy Davis. And I'll close out the night for us with a first sophomore performance from Aunt Lily off a very, very sharp qualifier. Now we do have Sunday is not up yet for Northfield. I know it's up. Looks like Money is going to race. A lot of people might be surprised to see that. I know I was. We entered him at the Poconos. First we entered him at the Meadows. No bueno. The Open did not fill. Then we entered him at the Poconos. Open Trot did not fill. And Jason swears he can get around a half. He's the only one that's trained him fast on a half. I have not sat behind him on a half-mile track. And with his history of an injury, not a place I want to race him is Northfield Park. So he won't be spending very many days at Northfield Park. But you know what? It is what it is, and he's going to race on Sunday night. We do have Rock Shining Star leaving from Pluto, the 9-hole, I believe. Yeah, good luck with that one. That'll be a training trip. And then 7-2 on, they got him in the backup class. They wouldn't let Save America drop way down. Made him race in the backup class. But he's coming off sharp qualifier, but definitely that's a big hill to climb. First start back for Save America. We'll see how he races. Good luck to everybody. So there's a complete outlook, a look ahead at everybody. A little recap from last night. Some hate mail. And a look at what took place today. Feeling better. I hope the weather holds, but may not. So far, so good for the week. The babies went good. The horses are going good. And hopefully we can keep it going into the weekend for you. Take care.